How did we get here? How did we get here? Holy shit. That took a left turn and I didn't even realize that it happened. Whoa. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is J Max. I'm just a guy on the internet who's here to react to your recommendations. What do we got on deck today? Randy buys a bookshelf off Gumtree? Let's go. Yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been here before, if this is your first time, it's nice to meet you. My name is J Max. Like I said, I'm just a guy on the internet who's here to check out your recommendations. And today we are checking out, I believe this is, I don't really know what this is. This looks like a puppet comedy skit of some sort. Title of the video is Randy buys a bookshelf off Gumtree. I don't remember where this recommendation came from, which comment section it came from, but I know it came from a comment section and not my Discord. If you are interested in joining my Discord server, check out the link down in the description below. Super fun place, super chill. Come check it out, see what you think. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what Randy's getting into here.
All right, here we go. Okay, fuck. Okay, here we go. Okay. Walking to Sky, Chapter 1. I bought a bookshelf on Gumtree recently. It was an amazing experience. I'll quickly tell you about it and then I'll read the book. But
All right, I don't know who this is or the comedian behind or beneath Randy, but I'm intrigued. He's Australian. Love Australians. Big fan of just the lingo, the dialect, the accent. Huge fan. Let's see what Randy's got going on Gumtree.
It was an amazing experience. I'll quickly tell you about it and then I'll read the book. But I found it strange because it made me start to think about the way like our methods of communication have sort of changed over the years. You know, in the old days, if you wanted a bookshelf, you'd just go see Gareth the bookshelf guy because he was in your tribe that made the bookshelves. At a little bookshelf cave, he was reputable. Now any mad bastard can sell their shit on Gumtree. You know what I mean?
That's true.
As a species, we're sort of able to cope with knowing and gossiping about... As a species, we're sort of able to cope with knowing and gossiping about around like 100 or 150 people. That's like the limit of our tribe. Any more than that, it starts to get confusing, which is why we created abstract constructs like territories and deities to unite larger groups of people under an imaginary common factor. And it works a treat because we only really gather en masse on special occasions. But I think like social media and it's fucking all that up, you know? I don't think we're able to deal with the thousands of people we're connected to on a daily basis. And as a result, we neglect our immediate 150, you know? That's why I never get invited to parties anymore. It's not because I ramble on about veganism and fisting old ladies. It's because I'm not on Facebook and everybody just assumes you are. I am so behind on the births, deaths, and marriages of my friends that I feel like the time traveler's wife every time I go to a party. I'm like, this is Tim, he's our son, he's 6 now. Fucking didn't even know you were pregnant. Anyway, and you know smartphones aren't that great. You know that, right? They're not that great. You don't need the internet in your pocket. You work at Coles, okay? You're not working for the president. You don't need it. You don't need that much.
I need it. I need it.
What was the point of developing opposable thumbs for you to take a photo of your head, post it on the internet, and then just stand by for validation? No one gives a fuck about your head. They'll only validate it in order to gain permission to post a photo of their own head on the internet and stand by for validation. The people who give a fuck about your head will at some point see it in real life. Fuck your head and the neck it rode in on. Your vanity is sucking up my bandwidth. This is what's going through my head as I'm on Gumtree looking for a bookshelf because, you know what you put...
Wait. How did we get here? Holy shit. That took a left turn and I didn't even realize that it happened. Whoa. Let's back it up.
Anyway, this is what's going through my head as I'm on Gumtree looking for a bookshelf because, you know when you put something in the search in Booktree? What the fuck? You put something in the search on Gumtree. I'm having a stroke up here. Yeah, when you put something in the search, right, and like, there's always a couple of things that come up in the list that are like the polar opposite of what you search for. I'm like, get out of my head, Gumtree algorithms, conspiracy. No, but seriously, you type, it's like bookshelf, and it's like bookshelf, 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 gramophone, what? Bookshelf, 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 combine harvester. What the fuck? But it's actually a pretty good price. Anyway, on this particular day, I found 2 bookshelves that worked for me in terms of cost and, more importantly, geographical convenience. Because I'd be fucked if I'm driving to Broadmeadows to pick up a bookshelf.
I'd be fucked.
I type in bookshelf and I see the 2 things and I'm like, okay, one seller is Kathy, the other is Morgan. I send them both the same text message. Hello, I saw your bookshelf on Gumtree. Is it still available? Kathy texts back straight away saying, sorry, it went this morning. That's cool, Kathy. I'm sorry I gave you an annoying voice in the retelling of this story. Morgan's response came through a couple of minutes later and simply read, it was my wife's bookshelf. How do you respond to that? Aside from the fact that it doesn't answer my fucking question, his use of past tense in that sentence unnerved me slightly. I should probably just find another bookshelf. And then I noticed he lived in the suburb next to me, so I replied, is it still available? He responded with the letter Y. Just a Y. Is he asking me why I want to know if it's still available? Or is it a Y for yes, and he's so in the throes of grief that he can't manage the E and the S? I assume it's a Y for yes, so I respond, cool, I'll take it. When's a good time to come and pick it up? No reply for 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, he's forgotten about me, fuck it, I'll find another bookshelf. And then when his reply actually does come through, I realise he spent those 15 minutes crafting his response because it's a fucking thesis. He must have felt so bad about only using a single consonant in his previous text that he just massively overcompensated with this one. For some reason felt that the use of punctuation, entirely unnecessary.
No, that is, I know like text lingo is like obviously not proper grammar and spelling, but and I'm guilty of it. I use LOLs as like periods and commas. It's awful, but yeah, I know where he's coming from. I feel you, Randy. I feel you. Holy shit. This is 20 minutes long. I just realized that. All right, buckle up, everybody.
Use of punctuation, entirely unnecessary. So it's just one obscenely long sentence which reads, you must come and pick up now. I only have short time here at house and also it wide. So bring van or trailer and there stair. But I can help you carry downstairs. If you come park out front, walk up past ring bell, and I will help you carry it to trailer or van. I only accept cash. And if you do not come now, I will sell it someone else. Again, I'm thinking, I should just find another bookshelf at this point. But now I am fascinated by Morgan, and I simply must meet the man. So I went over to his house. Before I left, I sent him a message saying, cool, I'll be there in 10 minutes. He replied, okay, but spelled it O-K-A-Y, which just fascinated me more. There's 4 letters to spell a 2-letter word, but only 1 letter to spell a 3-letter word. Morgan is off the fucking chain.
Oh, shit.
As I'm driving over to his house, I'm trying to picture what he's going to be like, you know.
His hand gestures are killing me.
Suggest ethnicity of some sort, but I don't want to racially profile him. Maybe he's an old man who recently lost his wife and is not that very good at texting. Or maybe, and I'm really hoping this is the case, Morgan is just batshit crazy. So I get to his house and I go up to the... I park out front, walk up past ring bell, and...
Ring bell!
I brace myself for the door to be opened by, like, an old man in a smoking jacket, wearing fishnet stockings and suspenders, just puffing on an opium pipe, while a butler just creepily polishes a goldfish in the background. And then a tiny pug dog wearing a fez hat just trots up the hallway, sits on the mat, looks up at me and says, "Welcome to our lovely room." And then the door opens and I am thoroughly disappointed. Before me stands an average Caucasian male in his mid-30s, dressed casually, hipster chic, stubble, glasses with designer frames, expensive watch. I immediately think architect, but the house is too cheesy for that. It's like a double-story doll's house with bay windows, but definitely a designer of some kind, maybe a graphic designer. He's too skinny for manual labour. He's too hip for the public sector. But this can't be Morgan. Because Morgan's text messages would suggest that he's not that technically savvy. And then the man standing in front of me says, "Hello, my name's Morgan." And the plot begins! He invites me in, shakes my hand, closes the door, and 20 minutes later, I will be witnessing Morgan perform some of the most aggressive acts of violence I've ever seen in my life, and I will be speeding away in my car, bleeding from the face. Here's how this shit went down. I go into the house and I notice two things immediately. One, this is a house in the throes of renovation. Nothing too extreme, but there's like drop sheets on all the furniture, there's freshly painted walls, there's a bathtub wrapped in plastic in the hallway awaiting installation. Someone's doing some work on this house. The second thing I notice, on the way up the stairs to the second floor, on the first floor landing, is a wedding photograph. Featuring a very cleanly shaven Morgan with a very beautiful bride. Very much in love.
Forgot Morgan had a wife.
On the floor,
Shit.
and the glass in the frame is very much smashed. She's not dead, she's left him, and the plot thickens a bit more for Morgan. And as Morgan unceremoniously, kicks the photo frame to one side on the way up the stairs, I really wanted to pry into Morgan's life and ask heaps of inappropriate questions. But he was clearly a broken man. He had this terrible air of sadness around him, so I didn't want to intrude. Luckily for me, though, I didn't have to, because Morgan immediately began oversharing and told me the whole fucking story. Thank you, Morgan. I shall hang off your every word and then retell your tale to 200 strangers and record it for a fucking DVD. He is a graphic designer, yes, and he's really good at it. He does massive rebranding campaigns for large corporations. He gets flown all over the world doing this shit, right? About 4 years ago, a woman hired Morgan to rebrand her florist business, and he did such a great job, she married him. And he thought everything was
What a graphic designer.
Until about 3 months ago. Morgan had to do a presentation in Sydney, right? But he was on his way home from overseas and he got stuck in Dubai due to a flight cancellation. So rather than cancel the meeting, Morgan suggested to these businessmen in Sydney that they do a Skype chat because he's so technologically savvy despite his fucking baffling text message style. So Morgan checks into a hotel, cracks open his laptop and starts Skyping with this room full of businessmen in Sydney who are all watching Morgan on a massive screen on their boardroom wall, right? And everything's going great. Morgan is totally nailing it until about halfway through, he realizes that a file he wants to show these dudes is on the desktop of his home computer in his home office in Melbourne. And he decides to live share the desktop of his home computer on the Skype chat.
Oh, shit.
He knows how to do that. He can control his computer remotely from anywhere in the world. It's not particularly new technology, but Morgan makes it sound so impressive. So this room full of businessmen are all watching keenly Margaret, bring in some biscuits. There's some newfangled shit going on in here. As Morgan clicks a few buttons and brings up the desktop of his home computer.
Oh, fuck. I'm scared.
Now, what Morgan doesn't realise is that his wife has been using the photo booth app on that particular computer to take pictures of herself. To take naked pictures of herself.
Yep.
To take naked pictures of herself doing some pretty fucked up shit. It's embarrassing to say the least. Just as Margaret came back in with the biscuits, I've got you the... Now, those of you who are familiar with the photo booth app will know that how it works is it accesses the built-in camera in your computer and with a click of a button, takes a photo of you when you're standing in front of the screen. And if you know that, you'll also know that if you leave that application open, the camera also stays open, witnessing whatever may be happening in front of the computer in real time.
Oh, no.
Such as your wife, in your home office, fucking your best mate. Morgan then goes on to tell me she's keeping the house, his former best mate is moving in, and while they're out for the day happily shopping for fittings, Morgan must suffer the indignity of moving his shit out and selling the stuff they don't want on Gumtree to this guy. It's at this point of the story that Morgan starts crying. He breaks down, and I do not blame the man. It's fucking horrible, and I just want to give him a big hug and say, everything's going to be all right, Morgan. But I am holding the full weight of a bookshelf halfway down a set of stairs, and Morgan is the only thing stopping that bookshelf from having a face. And I was like, Morgan! And Morgan managed to pull himself together for about 8 seconds and then just went, bah, and let the bookshelf go. I fell backwards. It literally rolled over me and took out the light hanging above the staircase. I'm now lying on my back, getting showered in broken glass as the bookshelf turned end over end and just went slonk right through a freshly painted wall at the bottom of the stairs. I'm like,
Yo.
my forehead, which is just pissing blood for some reason. Apart from that, I'm fine. Morgan, however, he's not fine.
No, he's not fine. He's not fine.
Opposite of fine.
He's very much not okay.
Something happened when the bookshelf lodged itself in the wall, and his sadness just went away in a second, and he started pissing himself laughing. Hysterical. And he had the creepiest laugh I've ever heard in my life. I'm standing going, this is weird, and he's going, like some sort of demonically possessed baritone kookaburra. And I still had the bookshelf. He's like, yeah. We extracted from the wall. The bookshelf, incidentally, showing no sign of having just rolled down a staircase and smashed through a wall. We carried it out to my car. We had to stop about 6 times because Morgan was like, hang on a minute. We got to my car, put it on the trailer, and Morgan was in such a great mood, he let me have the bookshelf for free. Oh.
Oh, it's amazing. What a story.
And that's where the story should end.
What?
But there was something about the bookshelf going through the wall that flipped a fucking switch in Morgan's head, and he is now hungry for more distraction.
Oh,
so
shit.
Tying the bookshelf down to my trailer, Morgan just strolls over to like an upright mailbox on the front lawn and just starts trying to wrench it out of the ground, just really putting his back into it. He's like, I'm like, you okay, buddy? He's like, yep. He pulls it out of the ground, whereupon he wields it like a fucking battle axe and just starts smashing up the front garden, just beheading the daisies, fucking up the lavender. I'm like, oh, hey Morgan, maybe you want to stop and think about that. And he wheeled around and looked at me like Jack Nicholson chasing Shelley Duvall up the stairs in The Shining and said, why don't you mind your own fucking business?
Yep. Bye.
I like tying knots. I'm quite good at tying knots. If I can put something down, I take my time because I want it to stay there. But as Morgan nonchalantly strolled up the driveway, rolled up the garage door, and put the mailbox through the windscreen of an Audi, I must admit, I kind of rushed my knot tying job. I got in the car. I'm about to drive off. I'm like looking at the house going, oh, Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then an armchair smashed out of an upstairs window and just went doink, 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 doink down the front lawn. I was like, what's my duty of care in this situation? I didn't want to call the
Holy
cops.
fuck.
I didn't want him to trash the house. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to talk to Morgan. So I got out, I walked up the driveway, shitting myself. You know when someone does something really violent and you're just like, fuck, we're not supposed to do shit like that. Yucky, just yucky in my tum-tum.
And my tum-tum.
Standing there in the garage, and there's like an adjoining door in the garage that leads into the house. I can see in through the door into the house, up the staircase. It's like a wooden staircase, and I'm standing in the garage just going, no, Morgan! Morgan! Like I was calling a cat for its dinner. Like, Morgan! Morgan! And then I notice a small trickle of water start to come from the top step. And then a little bit more water, and then quite a lot of water. Just pissing down the stairs like a shitty water feature. I'm like, that can't be right. And then Morgan appeared on the top step holding a hammer like this. I was like, no! Running at me, wielding the hammer, going, I'm like, oh, no, I just wanted to buy a bookshelf. He's like, run straight past me. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, made a beeline for my car. I'm like, no, man, stop. He's like, stop it, just stop. He spins around and goes, I just checked my phone. She texted me 15 minutes ago saying she'll be here in 15 minutes. We gotta go! And gets into my car.
Oh, shit.
Jesus. Fuck me.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
The driver's seat, I'm like, what was with the water? He goes, I put plugs in all of the sinks and turned all the taps on. I'm like, that's fucked. He's like, just drive. I was like, Really there at the end of his street, and the bookshelf just went, boosh, and exploded against a guardrail. Just exploded in a shower of badly tied knots and broken dreams. So me and Morgan just fucking left it there. Like a little breadcrumb for his ex-wife to find on the way home to her destroyed gingerbread house. I dropped Morgan at a train station. I have never seen him again. And that, my friends, is why I no longer shop on Gumtree. Thank you very much.
Holy crap. Jesus Christ.
Fuck. You know my favourite bit of that story? I just made it up. Yeah, it's not true. There is no Morgan.
What?
It's very unsatisfying, isn't it? But I saw him in my head. I saw Morgan in my head. Why is it we can feel so robbed when someone tells us a story we just heard isn't true, and yet so satisfied at the end of a fictional novel? Okay? You know the other great thing about that story? First draft. Fuck you, Hemingway!
That's amazing. Oh, man. So that was Randy Buys a Bookshelf off of Gumtree. And a lot more. Oh, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I don't know who the comedian is behind Randy here, but I don't know. He's an incredible storyteller, whoever that is. And the fact that he made that whole story up and it was so extremely believable, I think I smiled through that entire thing. Like, I genuinely did. I'm going to have to look to do like a count to see how long I had a stupid ass grin on my face during that whole thing. But let me know what you thought of this comedy bit down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more. Let me know what else you might want to see me check out. I'm trying to check out to as many of your recommendations as possible. If you leave it on Discord, it's more likely to be seen, but I'm happy to engage with you anywhere. So be sure to do all of the YouTube things. I appreciate you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Yo, 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 yo.